Greetings and welcome to San Diego's #1 soccer podcast, #1 soccer outlet here in the so-called 619-760 and 858, a little bit of 664. We're going to talk about Man U Wrexham. They played on this side of the world at Snapdragon. The summer of soccer kind of came to an end. We had Man U versus Wrexham. We're going to go ahead and talk about all of that, rubbing elbows with some important outlets from the UK. Pretty cool. Also, some German outlets because Borussia Dortmund played against San Diego Loyal in a 6-0 squashing for a bit, but San Diego Loyal got their own. We talked with Nate Miller after it. We're going to go ahead and break that down as well as the Colorado Switchbacks results. Colorado gets beat once again, 2-0 here at home. They return at home, San Diego Loyal, and also returning home soon, Kaylin Sheridan. Her campaign ends in the Women's World Cup. Canada eliminated. The U.S. could potentially get eliminated if they lose, much like San Diego Wave has made a recent habit of doing. Yes. They just cannot stop not winning. All this brought to you in part by, in full by, San Diego Football.
Check it out.
All of our back catalog is there.
Exciting stuff coming
stuff
up.
Stuff is
We keep saying
like,
stuff
look,
is coming.
And I mean, nothing is a bigger testament to kind of, everything that's been happening around San Diego, and a testament to people paying attention to us, supporting us and everything. Really appreciate everybody who's on board with it. I mean, we talked about it briefly because we had the Erik ten Hag press conference the day before the last episode. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. But the actual game happened on Tuesday, the day after. Manchester United versus Wrexham. Ryan Reynolds was not here. He's currently filming, Deadpool 3.
Or he's on strike.
Which has Wolverine coming back, Hugh Jackman reprising his role as Wolverine, some yellow suit action. We can get into that on Two Balls and a Comic. Not comic, because they already have that. The stand-up comics. Anyway, so Wrexham coming into town. It's a lot of really cool people coming in. Manchester United, the whole mechanics of everything. Just to kind of give you the inside of where everything kind of was and kind of where we stand, and a reality check with everything too. Because we cover soccer in San Diego. We've been at Snapdragon how many times? Just enough times to be recognized by the security guards and say, hey, how's it going? Checking in with them, and just little cool things like that. But we were outsiders at home. It was really odd because everybody from Goal.com, Sky Sports, the Daily, the Sun, the Bill,
it's crazy how
everybody was there for the Man U
all those
Wrexham
media
game.
people from England literally fly to where the team is going to be because that's their assignment. You're following Manchester United in their U.S. tour, and you're going to go to San Diego. You're going to go to Vegas. You're going to go to this, where they're playing every single one of their games for the preseason. And, we got humbled a little bit, if that's the word to use, right? We were okay, this is how it's going to be. This is how competitive it's going to be when essentially we reach the World Cup. Mm-hmm. And it's not just going to be England. It's going to be the whole world.
A lot of people tasting new spices for the first time. Some Mexican food was served, and a lot of the British dudes were just like, oh, all right, this is new. But ultimately, the game was going to happen. We told everybody. It was in the press conference. We spoke with Erik ten Hag. Everybody knew that the big game for Manchester United was not going to be here in San Diego. It was going to be 24 hours after in Houston, Texas, against Real Madrid. Some of the big soccer action happening in the U.S. It's crazy what's happening because 82,000 fans have gone to three separate games this summer just in the States. So that just kind of tells you it's going to be a hard way up for us, but ultimately it's a lot of people are paying attention. That's really cool to see. A lot of people came out to see Manchester United Wrexham. A lot of fans, a lot of people that we know.
A record crowd, right? It was
that was
32,000 something.
32,400 and some. Yeah, we have the official margin here in a bit.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, but it was really cool seeing people who have never seen Manchester United play, and we'll get to who actually played, because I should have factored into a couple of decisions that people might or might not have taken, and just the amount of money that they would have. 34,248 was that number for the record here at Snapdragon. It was one of the weirdest games I've ever seen for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Soccer in San Diego on a Tuesday. I don't remember there being a lot of instances where that happened. But ultimately, San Diego came out. Like, there was a lot of people that came out. They could have gone up and watched Wrexham play if they're Wrexham fans up in Galaxy, Los Dos. But instead, they came out here in San Diego. You are a Manchester United fan.
I am.
You knew that there's people that were not going to be there. Players were not going to be there. Eric Ten Hag was going to be there in spirit.
Yeah.
So
you
are you upset about what you got?
So here's the thing, right? If you're a true United fan,
Oh.
you pay attention to the games they're going to have in the preseason. You look at dates because essentially you want to watch some of those games. You see them. They announced the game against Wrexham. At first, it's like, wow, this is kind of like too true. Like, we're going to get Man United here against a team that just got promoted to the EFL League 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Then you see the next day they're playing Real Madrid in Vegas. Oh, no, in Houston. And you kind of put two and two together and say, well, there's maybe we get Martial, who's coming back from an injury.
Somebody.
Maybe we get Harry Maguire or something like that. But, I mean, overall, it was just confirmed in the press conference that we attended the day before by Ten Hag that it was going to be the under-21 team, under-23 team maybe. There was one Champions League winner there, Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, 31-year-old with the kids.
31?
36, 37, 37-year-old Johnny Evans. But, I mean, look, something that we didn't really talk about last time is, like, after the Ten Hag meeting, is that we went and, like paparazzos, went around where they were staying up in UCSD area and actually located the Manchester United team bus. There was no solid plan at all, but we were just like, all right, cool. If you really wanted to, we could just like ambush people like, hola.
Yeah.
Mi nombre es Amor Villa. Shout out to Amor. But yeah, so the game unfolded. It was one of the weirdest games because there's people there who are fans of a show. And it's weird because it's like watching Disney on Ice where like, oh my God, that's Nemo. But it's not Nemo. But this time it is. That's a real person. You're watching a show with a real person who has real stats, real injuries, which happened to the star of the team.
Paul
Mullins.
Paul Mullen.
Paul Mullen
Who ends up getting injured. And you know what? The question was asked to Ten Hag, hey, have you seen the show? And we talked about it in the last episode.
Yeah.
We haven't really watched the show either.
Le valió madre. He's like, no.
The thing is, people were livid that Paul Mullen got injured. Like, people were genuinely upset, and they started booing Bishop, the goalkeeper who started for Manchester United.
Yeah.
And Mullen got there just ahead of Bishop, and the referee has gone to his pocket for a yellow
Granted,
poor
it's a
guy.
hard
Like,
foul.
he was not well. Like immediately when referee approached, you could tell like something was extra wrong. You can kind of tell when that happens. There's a lot of presence that kind of gets wheeled out. In any other tournament, in any other walk of life, this is a red card. As a goalkeeper, that's a red card, dude. You can't do that. Do whatever you want inside your box. Once you step out, you're a last offender. No intent here for the ball. It's just body. Ends up puncturing a lung for Super Paul Mullins.
So I'm looking up recovery time and aftercare for a punctured lung. It usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks to fully recover from it. Has to take medications. It does require surgery. It depends on how severe it was. He did get taken to the hospital, right? I believe.
Yeah.
So it might have been a little more severe. But But it's usually like about a 6 to 8 weeks recovery.
Correct, Carl. He did puncture a lung. He was, again, it's weird what, like, I know people are doing it right now. Like, a player gets injured in Europe, guess what? There's going to be a reporter at the hospital and, like, asking questions and blah, 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 blah. We could have done that and gone and located Paul Mullen at the hospital once he was okay and everything, been like, and just, like, check with whoever's outside the door and be like, hey, everything good? So we can blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so here Jeff Abramovich asked, answering, rate the summer of soccer out of 10, putting a 10. And okay, like that's fair. There's a lot of people that, you know, had different experiences that they wouldn't have otherwise had. Okay, so Bishop tackles and destroys Mullins. I'm kind of inclined to watch the show now because it involves San Diego now, and like it's a locale, and like how they would build that story wise. So I might give it a chance then. But that's actually something I was thinking of, Jason. He's gonna be confused about the hospital bill. Like, yeah, like that's
the
the
team
thing.
will for sure.
The team will have to
No free healthcare here.
Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
I'm sure they have.
will have to shovel a couple of grand to a local medical institution.
The only thing about this game, right? So you have literally a bunch of youngsters for Manchester United. You have players like Mark Jurado, a Spanish player who they kind of like brought over to their academy. Then you also had, you mentioned him, ¿cómo se llama el pelochino?
Hannibal,
Hedgebury,
yeah.
Hannibal Hedgebury, who has seen first team minutes as well. But other than that, like, you don't really know anyone.
Yeah.
And then if you don't watch the show, you absolutely don't know anyone other than Ben Foster for Wrexham United. So a lot of fans are disappointed coming into this game, seeing who the heck are these guys, that eventually you start rooting for Wrexham because they're an underdog team.
Yeah, and I mean, they just hurt the star of the show. Like, it's
But
such
a lot
a
of the
weird
people
dynamic,
booing don't know who Paul Mullen is either.
But a lot of them
do.
A
though.
lot of them
But
do.
the thing is,
like, even if you're a
you
Man
start
U fan,
hearing booing, you're like, yeah, screw you, goalkeeper.
yeah,
boo.
yeah, you're just the bad
join
guy,
in.
and you just at that point you're just gonna join to make noise, and it was fun to see the Bishop, the goalkeeper, get absolutely destroyed. I was following on the Reddit's live thread on the Manchester United subreddit, just kind of the live, thoughts all the way from England, right? And so they were like, these fucking Americans, like, what are they doing? Like, and a big thing is, as we'll talk later, is like how confused a lot of these writers were, that like, what's going on? Like, the American sounds of a stadium, like, oh, okay, like the Sweet Caroline was played
at halftime
at Snapdragon, and it was fun.
It was cool.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
All these people are like, what? What's pom pom pom? But yeah, other than that, like Wrexham United, right? Promoted to the League Two, EFL League Two. They have their first game of the season Saturday, so this was very much just their preseason as well.
Mm-hmm.
The question was brought in the press box between many people that are local. Would San Diego Loyal beat Wrexham? You said yes. I said no. But do you generally think Loyal would beat Wrexham in a head-to-head, their best against our best?
This was a really fun exercise because I was actually talking about this with some head officials at San Diego Loyal, which, they might incur bias. But it makes sense, right? Like, if you think about it, Wrexham was Division 4. Now they're moving, or whatever they were. Now they're in, como dices, el campeonato.
So they're Division 4. So it's Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2.
So they're in League 2.
Yeah.
Great. Charlie Adams, the captain, if right now he was to go back to England, I think he would play a tier above, if not a tier above, on the bench, perhaps, in the English league. Kyle Vassell, there's exactly the example there. He went back. Kyle Vassell, I think, would destroy Wrexham, be part of a team that can beat Wrexham handedly, right? I think so. So if San Diego Loyal was to pair up against Wrexham, you have the talent of a Coque Vegas who came back from La Liga.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Corona. I really want to throw. He was top flight out
Sweden.
of Sweden.
I think they're relegated.
So for now, relegated for now. But if you start adding those pieces up, and we'll talk about a little bit later what we saw out of San Diego Loyal against Dortmund in that first half at Snapdragon. I don't know, man. Maybe with some luck, Loyal beats even Borussia Dortmund for the first half. But as far as this game, the tide turned. People are booing, like, very weird. Wrexham starts winning. Like, they come in and start winning with a good goal. They're playing really well.
Chaos in the
They're
stadium.
inspired. That's the thing. Like, it's a real life thing, right? You took out our captain. Now we got our guy, our ace. Now we got to fight for our guy. And this is against Manchester United. How many of their grandchildren are going to know the story of the time that Grandpappy beat Manchester United in the game? They're not gonna tell them what the lineup was. They're not gonna tell. They beat Manchester United, but it was really, really fun. The atmosphere.
It was
dead.
cool. I mean,
It's dead, bruv.
for 32,000 people, it could have been better. Again,
It's not Peng.
I think people were really discouraged that it wasn't the Man United stars, and that kind of
That soured a lot of people. 100%. 100%.
If it would have been announced where it's going to be the under 20 whatever for Manchester United against Wrexham, it does not get to 32,000.
Yeah. No.
It gets to 10,000.
Yeah,
15,000.
and that's what's disappointing is that who was it? Over in the press box, somebody pointed out the fact that on all the branding and advertising, it didn't have Manchester United's crest with the stars, signifying that it's the academy. Like that in itself should have been a tell. That's looking super into it, and that's only somebody who works directly in the business would recognize. So it's kind of difficult, but the signs were there. Like the signs were there. This was going to be not the Manchester United team that we all dreamt of. I would have been very happy. It's one of those things where I think it's a missed opportunity for San Diego, a unique opportunity for, say, people like us who say, hey, we got credentials and we covered Man U, shaking hands, kissing babies. And it's really a tell of what's available in San Diego. You can fill that stadium up with soccer on a Tuesday. Sure. Like now, you know, that's possible, right?
Yep.
So what that means for the future, I'm not sure. We'll cover anything MLS here in a bit when we talk about MLS in the Leagues Cup. But yeah, Paul Mullen's just got out of the hospital here in San Diego, says Jeff. He's going to stay in LA for a few weeks. Perfect. So yeah, oh man, if we appear, actually, that's something that I'm going to look for. I didn't even think about that. I did not think about that. Blink twice if two balls got interviewed by Wrexham cameras for season 3. Not interviewed, but we might be in the background now. Like
We could be.
Honestly, I'm shooting the shot. Only you know this. I'm trying to reach out to get Ben Foster on. He would have done it, but he had prior things to do post match. But if we can get Ben Foster, that'd be dope. That'd be cool. But yeah,
And they have our cards.
They do have our cards. Everybody has our cards. Your card.
Who dropped it? And Johnny from Everything San Diego was a trooper and told the guy, "Hey, I think you dropped that."
Hi,
And it was my business card. So
Yeah,
thank you, Johnny. Shout out.
Shout out to the core of people who are covering soccer here in San Diego. Very, very hard workers. Abraham, the boy. So Nick says that you're wrong about Wrexham beating Loyal. I think I agree. See, Jeff
Maybe
agrees with
depends what Loyal shows up. If it's Loyal right now, I would be wrong. But
so that was a friendly. At the end of the day, it was interesting to see that side of the ocean of the pond just come over and be in vacation mode on holiday, and really just bring their brand over here. And again, a giant education. Like the mixed zones are so different.
It just shows how that's what every press box in England looks like, or in literally like any other country where soccer or football is the main sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been at Snapdragon multiple times now when it comes to San Diego Wave, and even for CONCACAF for Mexico games and semifinals USA game, and not even half of that was filled up. Oh, we have the head coach for Wrexham. ¿Cómo se llama, compa?
So the buddy boy here in red is the one that has our card and dropped it
Oh,
by accident,
Simón,
stepped on it a couple
el
times.
compita.
Trying to get in contact with you, bud. But here's the coach, el entrenador, manager for Wrexham.
Coming into here, San Diego, with opposition, it is what it is. It's a Manchester United team. Are you proud of your team, of what they've done today, able to accomplish?
Oh, immensely proud. You know, when you look, we lost our talisman, Paul Mullen. We had our key player taken off to hospital. And the way the lads responded showed the American audience what we're all about. And it's resilience as a group. And we showed that tonight. There's expectation on us tonight because of all the support we've had since we've been in the US. And it took us a little while to settle in the game, but once we did, I felt we played some really good football and we looked threatening.
So what are those conversations, obviously, with the team and the stars of the game who get cheered on, and sometimes they're not necessarily expecting that? What are those conversations in the locker room about keeping your cool, keeping your composure in front of a crowd that knows every single player by name? It must be strange.
Well, I think it's a great exercise for us because in the course of our season we're going into, you've got to be handled all different situations, and you know, crowds which are against you away from home, expectation at home, big cup games like we had last year, and I thought the lads really coped really well tonight.
Coming back home to your league, obviously you're playing against competition as Chelsea, Manchester United. You also have some category in your ranks, Ben Foster, who has that Premier League experience. What is it like for this team to get this experience now, and what are you expecting going back into your home league?
Yeah, going to be a tough league. I think a lot of teams have looked at.
And you can check out the rest of that, Two Balls and a Mic, on YouTube. So that was pretty cool. Again, just kind of talking with a European coach. You know, you had a couple words. The audio wasn't the best. It was elsewhere.
You forgot to put the mic. No, like in the press conference, like no me ponías el micrófono.
Oh, well, that was
It's
that was
his
my
practice.
bad. It was
It's
my
okay.
bad.
It's your first mix zone.
Okay. It's my first mix
It's your
sound.
first mix zone. It's okay.
But yeah, so yeah,
who
go for it.
Who do you think knows more football, Phil Parkinson or Nate Miller?
Why are you trying to post? Why are you trying to
it's a
poke
debate.
these teams
It's a debate
to each other? Pobrecito Nate Miller.
Like,
'cause
it's a debate. Like at the end of the day, like it's a fun
At the end of the
conversation. When are we
day-
gonna get to compare these two teams again? Wrexham
whenever
literally
we
played
want.
in
We
San
can do it
Diego.
next week. Fine.
But no, Wrexham was here in San Diego
Fucking compare it.
literally last
But-
week, and San Diego Loyal. Like, I mean, it's essentially
That's
the
the face
same
of a man I
thing.
trust right there. That's the man.
It's lower tier division.
If I want to
yeah.
have a conversation about soccer that'll include some very smart soccer-y things, I'll go
Phil Parkinson.
Phil Parkinson. If it's like, if I want to break down the molecular biology of a fucking triangular system that predicates possession and swinging it from the wings into the box until you realize that maybe I should change the tactic, and then it, you know, actually works out where you start your ground game and passing it, give it to Joe Corona, makes a little move, hits it with the left, poste go, like, you know, like those types of things. If I want a really scientific
Nate
breakdown,
Miller.
I'll go with Nate Miller. But if I want to have a pint
Pint.
of some Guinness at like 6 a.m., that's my guy.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. That's very well broken down. I like that. But yeah, that was our experience pretty much with Manchester United against Wrexham. It was very much hyped up, but at the end of the day, for our own experience and selfish reasons, it was great. To the 32,000 fans that paid, or maybe like 20,000 and 25,000 fans that paid to go see Marcus Rashford or Bruno Fernandes.
It would have been cheaper for you to fly to Houston, probably, and buy the cheapest ticket.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Snap Security is getting a lot of hate here in the chat. Again,
Whoa,
voice
whoa,
your
whoa.
opinions.
He knows the supervisor, so he's gonna
Let
bring
me
his
know.
concerns.
I'll talk
All
to the
feedback is
Well,
appreciated.
here's the thing, right? Because again, we mentioned it with the CONCACAF and the World Cup security rules. Like, you couldn't bring a water bottle inside,
Yeah.
where otherwise Snapdragon allows you on the website. It says so. Each promoter, each everything has their own set of rules, of their own set of ways of working things. So security is wacky and wonky. You're going to get different types of security, same people, but different types of security at concerts in that same venue. So unfortunately, it's part of it where, I mean, shit, like even check-in for us is going to be different every single time. I'm like, I just saw you yesterday. Like, what do you mean? Like, I have to do the hokey pokey while I go through the metal detector. Like, I don't know. But either way, it's all part of the show. However, can they be more adaptable in order to be synergistic and work together and to make San Diego and Snapdragon a safe destination for something? Maybe, but again, that's again a lot of. There's a guy sometimes that sits next to us at Snapdragon that just sits in his tactical computer. You know which guy I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I'm convinced that guy is like the sniper of Snapdragon. Like every major sporting event kind of has a sniper somewhere for security reasons. I think that's the guy. Like he's there. So just know everybody's safe. Everybody's safe at Snapdragon. Not from the sun because boy oh boy, that kind of sucked for a lot of Snapdragon in the sun for that Wrexham game. The San Diego Loyal one was a little bit later. There was a little bit more cool breeze, if you can even consider that. That's a good point here by Nick. If you think, I think if they want to be a premium soccer venue, they need to evolve their expectations and understanding of the culture. Yes, 100%. 100. Good luck changing their minds, and I welcome anybody to do that. If that's a discussion, if it's open for discussion, if there's somebody to bring a discussion to somebody, like let us know. We might want to be able to facilitate that and shed some light on it. But like I'm trained to follow. I hate rules. I can't stand them. Like I'm a rule breaker. I'm a rule follower. I'm a rule bender.
Okay, I was like, what?
The
Like,
Constitution has
follow
some.
the rules.
The Constitution has some elasticness to it, right? We're learning that.
Like you're the type of person that says, "Tell me what I can't do."
Yeah, because that just means I can do everything else that you don't tell me to. So, but like at the border, nope. You gotta follow the rules. I can be a dick to you if you're being a jerk, migra, and you're being like, "Where are you going to? San Diego." Well, I'm going home. Where's home? San Diego. What part of San Diego? Fucking San Diego. It's a city. My address says San Diego. Sorry. But no. So can that be a conversation? Maybe. Hopefully.
Ooh, okay. Nick.
They could be friendly. Okay, that too. Customer service base.
Nick said, never been accosted to show my ticket while having my hands full of beer while heading down into the supporter section during the game before.
I have to agree. That's a good point, Nick, but I have to agree with Drew. Show me your papers, Nick. I'm kidding.
Oh, my gosh.
It's all good. We all have them. We're all in the clear. And even
We
if you're not,
have-
we welcome you. Two balls and a mic.
We have Alan Underwood joining us at 8:45 to start talking loyal. Do you want to start with the Dortmund game, Marcel? Do you want to wait for Alan? Because we could talk Wave real quick.
We can talk Wave really quick, I guess. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Wave.
It'll be super quick. They lost. San Diego Wave loses against Reign 1-0 and get eliminated from the Challenge Cup.
Challenge Cup, yeah. So it's not the league, guys. Don't worry.
But
They lose on a penalty.
Which questionable penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Very questionable.
Cristiano was
you
not
look at
happy.
it. I don't see where that would be a penalty. But anyways, like San Diego
And with
Wave,
VAR in the league, see, that's what I'm telling you. VAR isn't the savior everybody thinks it is.
it's not. It's really not. And here's the thing, right?
You agree with me?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There's something that needs to change when it comes to San Diego Wave, and it's up to Casey Stoney to do it. She's using the weapons that she has. When you look at the starting line that she put Giannis again on goal. You start Poe, you start Shorts, Kylie Real with the captain armband, you start Westphal. It's a back line that's already been playing maybe a few games together.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not the strongest, right? Counter, I was wrong last episode. I pretty much said, hey,
You retired Abby Dahlkemper.
She's apparently good to come back. So for now,
Yeah.
she did share an Instagram post saying how the past year and a half has been the toughest in her career. But she's happy to be able to get back on the field and see the next couple years come to be.
Yeah.
You have Sarah Angi Angie, our
Angie,
girl.
Sierra Angie.
Colaprico, solid midfield. Korniak, Rachel Hill, Doniak, and Jaden Shaw up on top.
Sheridan's coming back. Canada got eliminated in the Women's World Cup.
We're going to touch Women's World Cup for sure because the group stage are almost being settled already.
Yeah.
So we'll touch base also what the U.S.
Japan.
Women's national team needs to do. Japan just being
4-0. We have some
dominant
sound here
force.
from Casey Stoney after another loss. It sounds harsh, another loss, but it's the reality of things.
They haven't won since May 20th.
Ugh.
On a little more of a positive note, obviously Kaylee started at captain. I know you've been kind of rotating that a little bit. Could you just tell us a little bit about, her leadership and why she got the captain's armband tonight?
Firstly, I thought it was a captain's performance from her tonight. I thought in certain moments defensively, she was very, very strong and defended very, very well. She's steady, Kale. She's very steady. She knows the game. She's experienced. She's been here. She knows the way we play. She communicates. She'll organise. And I wanted that tonight, that steady presence at the back. And I thought it was a captain's performance from her defensively tonight.
And so that's what we got from San Diego Wave, because the first part where she really went in on what happened in the game wasn't provided to the media. And that's kind of a telling thing where,
Avoid
look,
getting
what am I
fined.
going to say at this point? Like, I need my team back. I need my players back. This is a team that really relies heavily on the stars and the star power that these really good world-class players have and have been on display at the Women's World
Yeah.
Cup.
The thing is, right, we've been talking about it where the play is there. It's just the defensive mistakes that they have been making in literally the last 10 games that's killing them. They're getting the possession. They're getting the passes. They're building up to be able to score. It's just the finishing, the shots. They're being off target. They're being too weak. They're not making the right decisions in the final third. And that's where the experience for Alex Morgan comes in and just kind of like settles you down up in the attacking third, right? Which is why they rely on her so much. Jaden Shaw hasn't looked like herself since Morgan left.
Yeah.
And before she left, they were kind of both working really well off of each other.
Yeah.
So that's something that's lacking for San Diego Wave right now. The possession, the passing, the build-up, it's all there. You're just missing that player right now that can literally put everything together and score that goal. Not saying Alex Morgan coming back is going to solve everything, but it's definitely a start. Having Naomi Gierman in that backline will definitely eliminate some of those defensive mistakes. Sheridan also as well. She's done her fair share of
Yanez
mistakes.
is struggling. She's been
Yanez
struggling.
is
It's a liability
terrible
for the
with her
team.
feet.
It's a liability. It's a strong suit. It's the way that Casey wants to play. And if you just can't step up and do that, then it's just not going to work. And a lot of the goals that have happened, unfortunately, have been because of Yanez's play or lack of play. So getting Sheridan back, and again, probably going to give her a little bit of a rest, or I don't know, maybe she comes in and says, you know what, I'm just going to roll with it. World Cup is over. Focus with the Wave. Now move forward in the tournament. So a lot of things to consider. Saturday is another game for San Diego Wave. This one is
It's a Challenge Cup again. It's the last game of the Challenge Cup against Angel City. But then they what do you get out of this game? You give minutes to players that haven't gotten minutes at this point.
They've made a lot of World Cup signings to make up for the holes. Just, I guess, college players, free agents here and there, people that they've had on trial. So that's kind of, maybe that's what it means. They get some minutes. Hopefully nobody gets injured. This is a game that's like, hopefully you have to field the team.
This is the
Hopefully
most
nobody gets injured.
meaningless game
Yeah.
in the season and in the Challenge Cup. There's no coming back. They're eliminated. There's no way of getting that third spot because of your goal difference. So unless you win 15-0 or something like that drastically, which won't happen against Angel City. Angel City has been playing a lot better as well. Just when it comes to NWSL,
They run things right now. Like everybody
Challenge
else
Cup
run
wise,
things
I
wise.
guess they're sitting 10th place, but literally they're only 4 points behind San Diego Wave, who sit 6th. You are going to get Sheridan back. Does she get a break? Does she get a week of vacation? Ideally, if you're Casey Stoney, you're well, come back right away. But you got to wonder, okay, does she get a break? When does she come back? She obviously get the starting position right off the bat.
Yep.
But that's where they're sitting at right now. San Diego Wave not looking the best right now. Sitting at 6th place in the NWSL, out of the Challenge Cup. They're 5 points away from first place. but they're also 6 points away from dead last, and that's
Yeah.
how competitive that league is.
Yeah, no, exactly. So that San Diego Wave, as things ramp up once again, there's still a lot of NWSL league play to go. A lot of players might be coming back after the World Cup.
There's 7 games
right
left in
now,
the league.
sooner.
7 games left.
That's in
It's
a
21
12
points available.
team league. It's
So like the last few games, 7 games. So all these games are crucial, essentially. The next match in the league will be August 19th, which by then you're hoping to maybe get some players back. Sheridan should be back for that one for sure. Maybe other players will be back because the U.S. national team, if they lose against Portugal, they're out.
yeah. I mean, Emily Van Egmond is still on Australia's squad, the ones eliminating. Kaylin Sheridan's Canada, so she's not going to be there for a while. Sophia Jakobsen still involved in the tournament, and all the U.S. Women's national team players pending. So that's what's happening on the Wave side of things. I think right now we'll just kind of pivot over into, again, Snapdragon related things. That's kind of the hub of this soccer in San Diego. Again, we had the question earlier. Out of 10, what would you rate the summer of soccer in San Diego? You put 10,000 or 1,000. Like, you really think? So let me say, was it a 10,000 or whatever it is after the Wrexham game, before the Loyal game? Was it still, if the Loyal Dortmund game had never happened?
No, I think the Loyal game
Really
that more
bumped it up?
exciting. I mean, you got to see world-class talent here in San Diego. You got to see Marco Royce. You got to see Matt Hummels, who's won a World Cup. You
Mats
got
Hummels.
to see Sule, who's played in Bayern Munich and just made his move to Borussia Dortmund. You got to see Emre Can, who
Captain Emre Can.
who is not the best player at center mid, but you see him live, you're like, holy shit, this guy's on another level.
Yeah.
This guy would dominate in the USL. This guy would dominate in the MLS.
I mean, we're
like,
seeing it with Busquets and Messi.
and he's
child's
not
play.
even, he's literally nowhere where Busquets is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy that you get to see this live and you're like, holy shit, that guy's good.
There was, again, just
Julius Brandt, who's been at Borussia
Brandt.
Dortmund his whole career, and he's just world-class talent as well. Like, Julius Brandt, who's played, literally went from Leverkusen, jumping over to Borussia Dortmund since 2019, started 27, reaching his prime. You see him and you're like, damn, this guy's also good. Like, literally, you're seeing
It was
some of
a
the best players in the world.
very strong side. Before getting in there, again, the Germans, the Germans are just different vibe when it comes to that press box. A lot more friendly, a lot more talkative. Their holidays was ons goods. Everybody was having a fantastic time. I don't know who made the decision to feed the press bratwurst, but there were some.
Food. It was the same. It was
Yeah.
the same food from
The Germans loved it. They reacted much more positively than the British did to the
British people wanted their fish and chips.
They wanted their stales, but it was really, we spoke with a couple of them, and it was really cool to be able to network. Maybe we can link up with them, and that's the plan, right? Like, eventually, you know what? Let's follow a team or a player or somebody that makes it over to England, or just go cover some soccer in England for a special project for San Diego.Futbol. That's our website, sandiego.futbol. Yes, that is correct. That's literally our website. It's a really cool website. Shout out to you, Drew. But ultimately, the Germans were just a great time. So striking conversations. They were really interested. Something really cool that I found out at the Loyal match, actually, was that there was a choice presented to Borussia Dortmund of a bunch of different clubs. And they were like, you can go here, you can go here, you can play this MLS team, you can play this MLS team. And they, here in Snapdragon or wherever, Borussia Dortmund said no. Like, the chairman or whoever's in charge said, no, I want the local team. I want to play against the local team there, San Diego Loyal. Throughout this whole process, Borussia Dortmund has been nothing but open, nothing but just all about bringing the local soccer scene up, because that's what it is over in Germany for them. They are the local team. They're just worldwide, but they're still the local homegrown team, and they really care about those things, down to the people that work for it, that are traveling with them. Like, it's just a really cool vibe.
It could also be starting off their U.S. tour, and you want to start off on the right foot. With Mexico does this a lot.
But I mean, you could have faced Cholos. You could have definitely faced Cholos. You could have definitely faced an LA Galaxy. That was offered. That was actually one of the teams offered, and they said no. Like, Galaxy was offered.
World class performance from Borussia Dortmund, and the fact that they just denied that and said, you know what, we're gonna play San Diego Loyal, just shows. And it's why you should like Dortmund over Bayern Munich if you're supporting a team in Germany.
Really cool. Like, listening to the title of the video is kind of mean, but it's true. Goal Fest and Royce's magical free kick. Borussia Dortmund 6-0. San Diego Loyal! Exclamation points. Highlights. But it's just really cool hearing like how the guy, because this is what happens. A guy will somebody will walk you through what's happening on the screen and kind of direct and show you what happened, the play, and do kind of like a commentary over it. And it's really cool because I've been knowing about this. European soccer has always done this. But then just hearing like, oh, Evan Conway, the San Diego Loyal's top scorer, like the voice dude is awesome.
Dortmund's US tour kicks off with a friendly against second division side San Diego Loyal in California. A chance for the players to get more minutes under their belts. Edin Terzic has named a strong-looking lineup, even though new signings must.
That must have been massive for Nate Miller. The dude was smiling the entire time. Everybody in San Diego Loyal was loving it. And that's one thing that I'll very much highlight and want to make sure that it's a point of emphasis with all of this, is that while Borussia Dortmund chose Loyal, whatever, like Loyal had to do their part. And I think everybody stepped up rose up to the occasion. I don't care if there would have been 500 people at Snapdragon Stadium. Those 500 people would have given everything to support Loyal, the ones who were there, because there was a lot of support for Borussia, and that was really cool too. But from top to bottom, you can tell this is a team and a professional sports franchise that has been running for 3 years, and then you just upscaled everything for Snapdragon. I was mostly happy, and that you see people complaining online of like, oh, why would they play this team? Oh, they destroyed, blah, blah, blah. This team sucked. It's not even about that. Like, you got to look past that. You're not paying attention if that's your complaint about this match. If you're still stuck on results, if you're still stuck on why would they play these guys so long? Shove it. Can it? Enjoy it. Put the phone down. Enjoy what's in front of you. And that's what a lot of this was. The front office working with the installations of Snapdragon. We've seen some of the front office work with the Gold Cup and just kind of get familiar with the stadium ops of it. You know, it's still everything, still the boom, boom, boom. Before every announcement of a yellow card or a substitution or whatever, they brought that over. Like, it's just an upscaled operation for San Diego Loyal. And I'm just really happy for everybody that came together with the locals, the chavos. So, before, again, we'll have Alan coming in here and continue the San Diego Loyal and get his side. This is the first time he did any sort of coverage at Snapdragon, so we'll get his side of that. But se me olvidó la pregunta. ¿Dónde iba? Chavos, locals. You said that the America Cholos game had the best supporter section there, right? That's your number one ranking. Number two, AO.
Yeah.
I didn't see Cholos America, so AO for me is first. Or was first. Where do you put this supporter section, what San Diego put out against a team that's known for its supporters? Where does that performance rank?
Wow. Okay. Putting me on the spot here.
I'll tell you mine. And
Okay.
and I spoke actually with Steve about this, and he said that he's very happy about what happened with San Diego Loyal versus Dortmund. I am too. That went flawless. It went perfect. The guys enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it. I wasn't there for Cholos America, so I can't explain. I can't opinionate on that. For me, still number one, even then, is AO. The American Outlaws, for the circumstances, being there in the sun the whole game, the whole night, in the middle of the week, everything working against them, to get the stadium rocking like they did. Like, don't get me wrong, the locals and the Chavos rocked it in their section. That section was awesome, palpable, but AO controlled the stadium. And that's just, again, everybody's kind of on one.
Yeah, that they're all rooting for the same team.
Exactly. So
there's
that kind of
there were a lot
helped.
of
They had
Dortmund
more
fans.
resources to work with. So what do you think?
I liked seeing what the locals and the Chavos did in Section 138 at Snapdragon. It gives you a glimpse of what could be, but I do think the energy kind of went down. I mean, you're losing 6-0. The energy's still there, but I think they went really hard at first, and it was really good. But I think the energy kind of like se me cansaron. Like, people got tired and people were rotating, but I do rank and it's just my personal bias.
Yeah.
I did like them better than AO.
Ooh, okay. That's fine.
You know, because I'm
That's
familiar
fine.
with the chants and
It's
just
still-
hearing them from that press box. It was cool to see them there. But I do rank the energy that Cholos America brought. Still, like,
Yeah.
to me, that's like, okay, this is what literally could be here at Snapdragon.
And it's all love. It's all love with everybody, obviously. But I think that it was a really cool experience for everybody. Again, congratulations to everybody that put it together. It's been working behind the scenes. We'll get into the game a little bit more.
Comparing an international team versus a club team isn't really fair. Which, Tony?
I
what's on
mean,
you?
isn't it fair?
AO had an entire stadium with 30,000.
But see, I put you in the same category as you competing with.
You talk to. I'm gonna fill up my water real quick.
Go for it. It's put in the same category as Manchester United, and where I have that. I just rank soccer events. This is just me ranking soccer events. When it comes to that section, I really liked it. I can't say I didn't. It was my first time experiencing AO, which can also add to that bias that I may have, where I know and I see the Chavos and I know what's coming next and I know the chance. Where I was a little bit surprised by what AO brought. I have to think about it a little bit more, but I mean, A1, A1.2, A1, whatever. Like, you're there. Everybody's there. You're in the same realm as the fans that were at the Wrexham Manu game, which is bottom of the bottom. And again, look at where I'm ranking this loyal and AO support is. There was a Mexican national team there with Pancho Villa's army and some of the lads from the Chavos that I rank lower than those, right? So I take those into consideration. Either way, it was a fun party. We'll get into more of the party with the bearded one. The one that was on Orange and Black Soccer Cast doing some spy work for San Diego Loyal, I presume. The great Alan Underwood. Alan, how are you?
Doing well. How are you guys doing? It was good to see you yesterday, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, I frequent Torero a little less than my every game. We haven't been in there in a while to begin with. We saw each other for that celebration of soccer at Snapdragon Stadium, San Diego Loyal versus BVB, Borussia Dortmund.
Hi, Alan.
Oh, you're here. Oh, hey, Chiba.
Hi, Chiba.
Sorry, my
got
sister
that
was
water?
born
You
on
got that
July
water?
30th. Yeah, I got my water. Sorry, my sister was born on the July 30th, and
It's
Loyal
your
decided
fault.
to play that day, 21st birthday. Sorry.
And I'm glad that they found your credentials at Snapdragon so you can join us.
Yeah,
It wouldn't have been the same without you for sure.
yeah, they couldn't find them.
Yeah, that was wild. But okay, so just real quick, your experience going in as media representing the USL show, because obviously you're part of the USL show as well. Check out everything USL show. They have a cool kit coming up. You better pick that Skittle up because it's your fault if there's rats in the summer here. But the USL show, you're the guy, you're the man, you're awesome. New kid coming down, dropping. But what was your experience here at Snapdragon covering a USL team against a Champions League, Bundesliga runner-up again up until the very last minute, literally probably, giant of Europe in our backyard?
I mean, it was fun. There was a definite like palpable energy even in the press box, which isn't usually the case, right? Usually in the press box, it's like super like chill. Like if you look at the press box, you wouldn't tell if the game was going on or not. But there was a buzz there. I think people were excited. The Borussia Dortmund had like 42 people there covering the team in all different facets of whatever. Glory magazine, who'd been out this week, was up there, and they were actually the most vocal in the press box, like trying to like almost like they were cheering for Loyal.
Yeah.
And so it was like this palpable energy. It was fun. I know Borussia Dortmund from sources say they had a choice between teams and they chose to play San Diego, which is I think it speaks to the culture of that club.
Yeah.
And the Bundesliga in general being very fan oriented. And so I think it was a cool moment getting the chance to see the locals and the Chavos like come march into the stadium was fun. The food was good,
Yep.
which
We keep telling you, Alan.
Compared to the experience on Sunday where it was a bottle of water. But no, I think people were excited. I do agree with you. I think people stepped up their game. I think there was an added element of, I don't want to say professionalism because that makes it seem like they're not professional at Torero.
People who don't usually wear suits were wearing suits.
Yeah, it was
cool.
Everyone like came out to, and I think everybody, including the supporters, really came out and they showed what San Diego Loyal is about, and that's fun to be a part of. It's fun to see it. The energy level was great. It was probably one of my favorite first halves of soccer that I've seen like ever. Maybe I just got a notification. I saw the U.S. women's national team against Brazil at Qualcomm. That game was super fun. But I think this game was one of the most fun, high energy. Even though it was meaningless, it really felt like it meant something to both clubs, and so it was fun.
I bravely told the president, Ricardo, I hope that, respectfully, San Diego Loyal get destroyed, but in the most beautiful way. Like, I need to see quality out there, and I want to see just things that you would dream of, and just I want to see the best of the best in the world go at it with the best of the best that we have in our backyard, like our guys, right? Like,
And that they did.
People, and that's the thing. People were comparing this of like, well, it's like the Yankees. If the Yankees were to be playing, Sweetwater High School's high school team in a spring training game, like, okay, sure. But what an experience it is for that team. It's still a story, it's still a community. And it didn't take long for the quality to really just pass through the screens, through everything, and we saw it unfurl.
Attack for BFLB, just over a minute gone here.
BFLB, as they say.
Pearson picks up the ball on the left, swings it in, the touch from Mukoku, and this is Duranville, and it ends up in the back of the net there for 1-0.
In the press box, we were actually like talking, hey, how long before
I said
Dortmund
seconds.
For the first one? I said first 10 minutes. You said seconds.
Yeah.
Predictions for this one before, some
I
people
said-
are saying 3-1. You said 5-1. I said
7-0,
7-1 if I'm feeling generous. Alan, you said 7-0 as well. We're close.
Yeah, when they told us that they were going to put in their academy kids and their second string folks in the 45, like, you kind of knew, especially when some of the guys on their starting 11 stayed on, like
Look at
Marco
that.
Royce, and even the guys they're bringing off the bench are like first teamers, rotation guys. It was super cool to see like Hummels that
World
just
Cup winner. We saw
Yeah.
a World Cup winner play in Mats Hummels. An almost World Cup winner multiple times or a couple times with Marco Reus. Wow.
And there's like a Liverpool fan. You have Emery Chan,
Yeah.
who was on Liverpool, and we were sad when he left, but like seeing him still be successful and as the captain now, like clearly he's found his way into the squad. He had an interesting role. So I mean, yeah, I think Dortmund did what people wanted to see from Man U. They wanted to see
Yes.
names, and we got to experience Dortmund playing like everybody that you wanted to see, except maybe that guy.
Is that Josh?
Where?
There.
Oh, that is Josh.
Josh is everywhere. This kid is everywhere. But yeah, no, it was a celebration, man, and it took seconds again for this goal to go in. And the impressive part in all of this, in that first goal, that just kind of like satisfied me and kind of put it on the trail of like, oh, this can get out of hand. In a minute and 20 some seconds, they did not let San Diego Loyal touch the ball.
And this is Duranville, and it
That
ends
is-
up in the back of
If you're playing FIFA,
Yeah.
you're playing on amateur, on baby mode.
I think we all just told ourselves, oh, wow, okay, it's going to be this bad.
A really good goal. I mean,
But Loyal?
if we really want to, I mean, I don't know if I can't play it because it's Bundesliga and Europeans and their copyrights.
Yeah.
Like, but essentially, like, look, you have a guy being, if you want to break it down, right, tactically speaking, Loyal, you could have prevented a 6-0. There's 5 guys in the box, I guess. There's some bouncing around, some really good elastic play, some legs that are European trained, catching balls in the air and just placing them down exactly where they need to. And I mean, a great team goal, man. Like, I don't know.
There was one word that I used to describe San Diego Loyal's first half, because at the end of the day, this was their starting 11 that essentially they used against Colorado. So this is essentially San Diego's best lineup that could be. I was impressed. I was impressed from what we saw after this first 2 minutes to what continued after, where Loyal were just going, attacking, pressuring. They kept. There's one thing about Nate Miller, and you got to respect, is he's always going to play his style no matter who he's playing. And that's attacking, high pressure, making sure that you're going to win the ball back. And that's what they were doing against Borussia Dortmund. They weren't hiding away from it.
Hey, man, I was rooting. Like, I didn't cheer. I didn't anything. But, man, was I rooting for San Diego Loyal hard. I couldn't help it. I'm usually good at compartmentalizing all these feelings and separating them and being heartless and stuff. But I mean, Charlie Adams, like having a first shot early on, like it was a point of pride that I haven't really felt in a while in soccer. I really
fires the shot towards goal. It's just wide. The first danger there from the hosts.
I love the way that they treated everybody with respect. They knew people. Tumi Moshobani goes on. Moshoban. See, I'm here and I don't even fucking pronounce his name. Knowing it, the South African, the this, the that. Evan Conway, the top scorer for San Diego Loyal.
Because they do their freaking homework.
They do.
They respect the game.
They respect
and that's
the game.
thing. And that's what a lot of American media doesn't do.
Exactly. Half of the announcers now don't do that because they're doing, they're baseball commentators who are assigned a soccer game. I don't know. Alan.
Yeah, I mean, I talking to some of the guys after the match or even actually it was halftime. They were extremely complimentary of San Diego, and they're like, they're way better than we thought this would be, and they were highly entertained. Right? I think the couple goals the first goal they got was like, I can't believe I'm watching this level of soccer being played where they just don't let you touch the ball. But the second goal was, it was a mistake. It was kind of fumbled.
It was a USL
nerves.
mistake.
Yeah, it was.
It was a Grant
some
Stone
nerves,
mistake.
Some not great communication, which doesn't usually happen between Koke and Stoneman. But I thought, the first half they really made themselves proud. and yeah, they went a goal down, but they didn't give up. They played the game they wanted to play. It showed off the quality that the team has, and that's all you want to see. And then the second half, you know, you can tell that Dortmund knew that they were playing against some kids.
Yeah.
And you know, they didn't really celebrate. They didn't go above and beyond. They were happy that they scored. Maybe a little bit sassy on the penalty kick. But again, really respectful of the fact that, you know, your goalkeeper is 17. You know, you're playing an 18-year-old in midfield who I thought held up pretty well. And maybe that was the catalyst to get him his pro contract. But I just think that you could tell that Dortmund players really respected Loyal, and they didn't like showboat. They didn't try to make a mockery of it. You know, they played. It's a preseason. They're going to play hard, and they're going to play well, and they're going to score the goals that are there, right? They also didn't like. There wasn't a sense of like big brother, little brother, where they're like, "Oh, we're going to take it easy on you." They played hard. They were fouling. They were going to challenges. Like, it was a legit game. And
They were winning them.
Yeah, and so I, you know, tip of the cap to them. The Dortmund coach hung out afterwards to talk to Nate Miller again after his press conference.
He waited
through the press
a good 15 minutes next to the press area just to give him a salutation and a hug. That, like, talk about like big man. Like, that's what it's about, bro. Like, that's awesome.
I don't think I've seen Nate Miller that excited to talk about his experience. He was like giddy. He was ear to ear smiling. I think that's a reflection of
those are big ears too.
The team, the experience the team had with Dortmund through the week and on the pitch, and that's super cool to see. That it really is a global sport, you know. They've invited the coaching staff to come out in the off season to take a tour and to go visit. And so it's like an ongoing relationship that you're trying to cultivate.
Yeah.
And that isn't always the case, right? When you're, you know, a second division club versus, you know, one of the best in the world, you don't always see that. And so just the respect of the game again, and of their opponents, and then to grow the game globally. Like, I think some Dortmund fans probably walked away loyal fans, but I think some loyal fans who might not have a Bundesliga team are going to probably pull from Dortmund because of this experience, and that's what it's about.
Absolutely. And again, like, what are you going to do, man? Like, you literally have, I don't know if Marco Reus is aware of the child protection laws in the States, but man, he did not need to do that for Duran, who, you know, at the end, he got a cool picture of it and a cool story. You got scored on by Marco Reus, and that was like his thing, his headline on his Twitter. It was like, yeah, like
tough result, but amazing experience.
Yeah, like, what more can you say? And even on the comments on that Bundesliga web YouTube page with the highlights, I mean, it was very complimentary of San Diego Loyal. Like, there was a comment that I was like, I don't know if we won a 6-0 preseason, Max, was how many chances with this team. Like, Loyal got a lot of chances gifted. It's almost like they wanted San Diego to get a goal, it seemed, here and there.
People always end up rooting for the underdog, no matter, even if it's against their own team. You catch yourself just rooting for them.
There was somebody who was like, when I saw the scoreline, I was not expecting San Diego to have 4 clear goal-scoring chances. That 6-0 is extremely flattering to
They had
Borussia.
24 shots, 6, 7 on target, 4 on target, but 24 shots in total for San Diego Loyal compared to a 19. That's just the difference of, like, the level, right? 19 shots, 12 on target for Dortmund compared to 24, 4 on target for Loyal, but then they, like, it's just a great experience for this guy. I mean, you see Xavi getting, literally playing. I think there's a picture of him literally, like, going head-to-head against Marcos Reus. Like, that's Xavi, 18-year-old San Diego kid, just signed.
Congratulations, Xavi.
But going head-to-head against Reus. Like, that experience, you're not going to get anywhere else.
In a calendar year, Xavi has played against Chiellini and Marco Reus. Like, the local kid. Like what a dream, right?
Yeah.
That's every kid's dream is to really be doing that, and to do it here in San Diego is the special part about this. Again, it's just overall a really cool experience for everybody. Again, you say, yeah, I agree, Jason. This is the definition of a quote unquote friendly. Like, it was a lot of respect earned by Dortmund, as Nick says. Yeah, it's there's a lot of people who came out as San Diego loyal fans, and maybe Borussia fans who maybe Borussia fans, and they're like, oh, I'm away from MLS, but now you kind of go and watch Borussia play, and you're like, oh, this loyal team, I can go for $7. I can go watch the San Diego Loyal game. That's actual price for some tickets. Go. Like, there is tickets available. They're gonna be here. We work for the team, but they don't pay us to do this. Check it out. Like, it's really cool. You wanna relive?
I'm sure though, the supporter groups will appreciate if we say this. Don't just buy a supporters group ticket for a cheap ticket if you're not gonna be there jumping and yelling and cheering.
La
if you're
yompa.
just gonna be so don't buy the cheap ticket just to be able to get in there. Make sure you're out there screaming. And by the way, Chivas just eliminated from the Leagues Cup.
Oh, dope. Nate Miller on his post-match here for Borussia Dortmund.
First off, just your thoughts, historical significance of this match at this moment in this stadium.
Yeah, I think for both our fans, our club, and our players, just a fantastic experience and opportunity to play against the Champions League club.
Look at it.
Obviously,
Smiley.
for our fans to be in this environment, for us to play against one of the top teams in the world, and for our players to challenge themselves that way. So, great experience.
Charlie said one of the differences was in the box. The talent.
You can check all the rest of that. I just wanted you to really see that face right there, Alan. Like, look at that. Like, that's what you're talking about. Like, ear to ear. Reports have it that it might have been said by a certain number 6 on one of the teams. I'm not sure. He's the captain of one of them. Would have sacrificed not playing on Sunday. Like, if he would have chosen to play more against Dortmund. I think you got that, Alan. Was that you who got that insight?
Was not me. No.
Oh, I don't know how I gained that insight. It might have been from the person himself or somewhere along the lines. But again, just to show, like, this game means something to people. Again, for somebody who comes from the old continent in Europe to play against Borussia Dortmund, had you stayed wherever you were as Charlie Adams, you probably wouldn't have played against Borussia Dortmund. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
Senor Alan?
Kyle Adams is just like, damn, I was one game away from playing Dortmund.
Poor Kyle.
Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game for Lou City and a pretty good post from Lou City, like calling him very in shape and instrumental to their win. So maybe not playing Borussia Dortmund, but seeming to be landing in a successful spot.
You're welcome, Louisville.
With that being said, right, San Diego, I mean, with that experience against Dortmund, they are back at Torero for 4 straight home games that they're going to have there. The first one against Colorado, who their last game was against Colorado in the USL. And they ended up getting another clean sheet against them. You guys were both there at this game. What was it like being back at Torero? I couldn't be there. It was my sister's birthday. It was hot, 3 p.m. game. I'm kind of glad my sister was born that day because it was a 3 p.m. game. Hacía calor. It was hot, Alan.
It's like the worst time, I think, for Loyal to play because of how they play. And it was, the first half was all right. I was in the shade. It was like cool-ish up against the bougainvilleas or whatever those things are called. But anywhere in the sun, like the sun was pretty intense. And the new pitch, they just replaced this after the lacrosse stuff. Held it up pretty well, but it definitely did have some influence on this game as well. But yeah, it was really warm, and I think it definitely took a toll on the team as they move forward. But it was really great to be back. After that celebration at Snapdragon, it felt pretty comfy to be back at Torero, and and see the guys out there playing well.
Yeah, no, the pitch, as you're mentioning, felt almost a little heavy because of the humidity, because of it being new. It's a little thicker. It's a little more. It hasn't been broken in. There's a fine line, but looks good.
It does. Look good.
But San Diego Loyal, even in these conditions, right? We're used to them really slowing things down, really playing, not necessarily with an edge, something that wasn't the case here. They're coming into this game, and I asked Nate Miller about it. Like, they have a different conviction. Like, I haven't seen them in person since, when was it?
It was the same starting
Last
11
month?
that
Yeah.
started against Dortmund as well.
So again, and could that have been an added? It has to be. You just played against the best team in the world. Like, not that I'm saying like you took pointers from them or anything, but you just gain a certain confidence, certain swagger of knowing that, oh, I just went, up against these players. Now, I can handle a couple of USL guys, a couple USL lads. Like, you really see what you're capable of. And real quick, just like with the one last thing with the Borussia, like, it just felt like it's the island of misfit toys with San Diego Loyal, where a lot of these players, man, like, they're coming from all over the world. Tumi Moshabani coming over from South Africa. You have Charlie Adams. Like, all these players at some point were rejected by a top team. And now it's a chance to really have a chip on that shoulder and come back and show these European teams their quality and what they're missing out on. And again, like, it's an island of misfit toys. They still lost the game, but the war was won. And I'm just really happy about it. It just brings a smile to my face. And it's these same players that now go back into the locker room, have these conversations. They've been at it for a month on the road. Blake Bottomley was talking about how, yeah, these are the only people you see for a month. It's just you and your team. This group of teammates is really solid right now, and you can really tell that this team is different from what we saw earlier, and they're dangerous, Alan.
Yeah, I think bringing some new guys in has definitely re-energized this club. They seem to fit in pretty well on the offensive and defensive side. I think the question was, you haven't won a game at home in 3 months since April, but just the way they played, like that tackle, like I thought it was, I was on the other side, I wasn't sure who it was, and then I watched it back in the broadcast. I was like, that's Colin Martin making that slide tackle, like Colin Martin. And so I think the guys are just putting in a little bit higher energy during this first half. They're coming in energized after that Dortmund game. I think they feel like they can play and beat anybody. And I really think they wanted to start off really hot, and I think they did a pretty good job. Guzman, that new addition, the center back role, or the left center back, has been a nice addition as well, with injuries starting to tick up on the back line. And it feels pretty solid over there, where maybe it wasn't 100% before. But this is a really solid lineup, with the Toomey playing that kind of 10-ish role. And then you have probably our strongest midfield in Charlie Adams, Joe Corona, and Colin Martin. It's nice to see those three guys playing together again, and it really, I think, makes a difference to, your first line of defense is kind of your strikers, and they press well, and then that second line is that midfield. And I would put that midfield, especially defensively, up against many in the USL, as far as being kind of the best and most cohesive midfield trio.
Number 4, formerly Jack Metcalf's number with Guz, as they call him, Guzman, coming in and looking to slide in very nicely. He's going to be solid if he keeps playing, keeps learning. He was having conversations after the match with Nate, just kind of talking tactics and whatnot. Just a couple of housekeeping items. Elijah Martin did pick up an injury. We saw him in 109. That was fun to see those images of him hitting the drums. So he should be back, projected in a couple weeks, hopefully sooner. As far as Nick Moon, I think we all who saw him at Snapdragon know he's on crutches. We actually have word that he might be coming back later on in the season, as well as sources can confirm with Alan as well that good news. Where is it? potential Ebby return this season. There is some rumors out there, so that's kind of the health status on this team. Where look, this team these guys have very very well come together, but there's still depth available if needed. So that's going to be really good going into this part of the season, especially here at home, being able to recoup. But yeah, I mean, offensively, defensively, it was a solid performance from San Diego Loyal, from front to back. I was really impressed with what I saw, and just again how they were able to string things together. San Diego Loyal looked dangerous. San Diego Loyal looked like they were pressing, like they wanted, they didn't just want to sit back and wait for that mistake or wait for that opening off of a counter or a botch counter. You have inspiration happening, right? People are inspired. You have Evan Conway with a chilena attempt here. Like, things are there's a certain je ne sais quoi, a certain pizzazz, a certain flair that this team exudes right now. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, I think there's just a pretty solid belief on this team that they can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league and be successful. Like, I know we look at those draws against San Antonio and Sacramento as kind of being a bummer at the time, but I think it really just solidifies that, there isn't a team in the USL that San Diego can't get a win against and can't be successful against. Even when Colorado Springs had them pinned in their half for a bunch of the time in the second half, when the energy level kind of dipped, I think this is we talked earlier about how Koke kind of stepped up his play. I think it was just, sometimes your goalkeeper has to bail you out and make some good saves. But early on, those things just weren't getting through to him. You had a couple like this free header, which was a little cause for concern, but not really on frame. But they really defended well, and then when they weren't, Koke came up really big on a couple of saves. This side-to-side movement on this goal is something that both Blake Bodley and Adrian Perez have really kind of come into their own. That kind of 4-man across with the fifth guy has really kind of opened up the attack, and you can't mark, just one guy, right? This is the question I asked about them trying to shut down Adrian Perez. Is Adrian Perez might be man marked by Yuma there, but it opened somebody else up, right? Like, Perez destroyed them the first match, and so they had to change their defensive shape, and it leads to some space for Corona to put a really nice strike and off the post and in. It was very hockey goal where you hit the post and it makes like a clinging sound, which is like just one of the most satisfying things in hockey, is when you you hit the clank of the bar and it pops into the goal, and
Just that doink.
yeah,
And this is a cool angle. This is he touches it. Goalkeeper touches it, but that's just way too much power. It's going too fast. There's nothing for the goalkeeper to do there. Barely touches his thumb. So, like, that's just a net ripper. Like that.
It's a bullet, and it's a great shot from Jokora, and that's what you want from that player in those certain plays and positioning, right? We know he has a good shot. We know he can shoot free kicks as well, but it's good for him to finish this place as well.
I forget how much people love him too, because I heard like everybody was cheered his name being sang, sang praises by Nate. Like I forget, he's a local guy. Like, that's right. His family's in the stands probably. Like it's really cool to see him score and get one in front of his fans too.
Alan, there's one team that Loyal can't beat, and that's Oakland Roots. Just throwing it out there, because they somehow have the ticket on Loyal. But
we'll see.
We'll see. The next game's October 7th for them against Oakland Roots.
I don't want to talk about that.
But again, that was pretty much the first half. There was some really good play from San Diego Loyal. It looked like Loyal could have had their way with Colorado for, it was just a matter of them wanting to score. Early in the second half, it did look like they were kind of letting Colorado come back, and the switchbacks did, have some looks, and that's why you had Koke as man of the match. You don't have a goalkeeper as man of the match for not having him save your ass a couple times, which is actually, exactly what ended up happening. But I think like at no point I was truly scared that San Diego wasn't going to come away with a win. Even if they got tied up 1-1, I felt San Diego was going to come back and, really give it to Colorado and win this.
It's one of those you just feel that they can't lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was. And that's how dominant they were against Colorado. But like you said, Coque Vegas just, when he's on top of his game, he hasn't had many clean sheets this season, but when he's on top of his game, he has made some crucial saves for San Diego Loyal and just shows you the quality that he can. We have seen him make mistakes as well, and you called him out on it, Tony. But just like this, 1v1, coming out, closing that angle, putting his chest on the line, knowing like he did everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, that's what a goalkeeper does.
He's making that player make a decision quicker than he probably wants to, right? And that's all you can hope for, right? Like sometimes in that position you get a guy to chip you, a pretty nice ball through, but he just kind of comes out and makes the guy try to make a tough decision, and that's all you can do as a goalkeeper is try to get the guy to panic and make yourself as big as possible, and he comes up pretty huge. Like, to be fair, like Colorado Springs probably deserves a goal in this match. The way they played, some of the balls in were phenomenal passes to break the defense. And to be fair, a makeshift backline at this point, right? This is Nate Miller pointed out that these are 3 defenders that have never played together.
Mm-hmm.
So there's clearly going to be some communication, not as sharp as maybe Stoney would be in that situation. But that's why you have a keeper like Koke who has the skills to bail you out in those situations.
Yeah, no, it's really difficult. It's good defending too. It's a defensive effort, and I think that he was Nate Miller was asked too about like, hey, like Koke, doing all this thing, and he was like, well, yeah, no, there's a whole defense in front of him too that's making it happen, making him have to come out and close the space, and you're getting help from closing those angles. So very, very well rounded performance from Koke overall. There was a lot of energy spent by him in this match to keep it leveled and keep it into it. But ultimately, we did see Matiti, correct, Alan? Matiti,
Yes.
as he does like to be referred as, and that's Mushagalusa, right? Correct? Or is that?
Mushagalusa.
His player name on everything you'll see is Enoch Mushagalusa from Lou City, but apparently prefers Matiti, which I'm all about. If a player wants to be called, that's the name he wants, then that's what we call him because that's what he wants.
Oh,
so
like Simba.
Matiti,
Yeah.
it is number 77. Yeah.
Awesome. So he does come in, and then at this point, again, still 1-0, and the confidence is there. We're like, you know what? San Diego Loyal have fought. They've got this game at hand. And then this play where Matiti is part of it, getting Ronaldo, other substitute on there. I was just talking about to you, Alan, during this. It was like, man, we need to figure out Damas. He needs to, score. He needs to. He's getting him in. He's doing his decent job, and coming in moments. Can he do a little bit more clutch? Can he be a little bit more clutch in certain moments? Sure, I'd much appreciate that from him. But again, this goal is just one of those things where you just force yourself upon your opponent, and there's nothing they can do. It's just you take a shot, the goalkeeper stops it. That's usually sometimes where the play ends, but you're fortunate, you get the rebound, it goes back in, and you're left with a 2-0 here.
Yeah, we saw this play from Matiti against Dortmund. Even like he was torching some of their defenders, and so I'm like, oh, I have every hope and belief that he's going to do that to some poor unsuspecting wingback, and it happened already. If these two play together, I think we're going to see this a few more times. This is just really well worked goal from a goal kick. Matiti does a great job as an individual guy to not give up on the ball. Drives in. That's actually a really nice shot and a really good save. Like,
Yeah,
from both of those players. So it's like great shot. So it's exciting. It's also a really good reaction save. It's kind of close to him, but still, that's a pretty difficult save. and Ronaldo just doesn't give up on the play, and it's good to see him get back on the scoring sheet. I know he's been wanting to do that for quite some time, and if we can get guys like this off of the bench in a late match, like you're down one, it's a tie game, you need to win, like you have that belief that these guys have the talent to get it done, and we're gonna probably have to lean on them again this season. And then it's nice to see Morgan Hackworth come in his typical role of
It's not the white flag of Morgan. It's the black flag of you're screwed. If Morgan's playing, man, like you done goofed.
we need to drain more time of stoppage time because it's hot. Our guys are tired, and we're up 2-0.
He got his 30 seconds in.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that. Like I think that's what you want him to be. He runs really hard. He plays really hard. And then our friend from Glory Magazine gets the ball kicked at him at the corner kick, and then the ball pops up and scares me a little bit. But I hold on to the ball like a good homer should do, so the game doesn't restart fast enough, and then just gently let the ball roll out to the corner. But he called the game, which was probably smart. Time was pretty much up. Tempers were starting to flare. Let's just get it over with. I don't think he did it on purpose, but it got a little heated there at the end.
All right, Alan, you were there. People have been requesting this post-match conference, man of the match, Coque Vegas. People, I don't know if you heard, I did a voiceover of his last interview over at training for the Borussia Dortmund, and people were like, "Oh, that's really good." Per request, I will now translate the post-match. I don't know what you got. I don't know if it's going to be repetitive for you, but did you get anything? Just if it's because this might be new for you too.
I got some stuff about playing at home and the importance of playing and I think winning at home.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lost him after that.
All right, let's check it out.
El juego pasado fue un resultado diferente, pero todos traían ganas contra el Loyo. Llegas a este juego.
Pretty much asking that, last time you guys played against Switchbacks, you guys humiliated them 5-0. They're going to come and try to play strongly. How was that a factor in? We came back home after a long time, and it's been a while since we won here at home. And now we had the relaxation of having known that we played well against them last game. And then for whatever motives, it can change. But everything was all right for us. We came in with a lot of enthusiasm, but we had to do it in a different way. And they're really happy because our fans really happy that we came back. And because we've demonstrated that we had a lot of excitement to come and put on a show for them. And to maintain this goal and this net at 0 is really important for us. And this is me asking him, so actually at the end of this match, right, he had a really important stop, and when the second goal happened, he's in the back because he had to do with that goal because you saw the goal kick, right? He goes onto his knees and is celebrating that goal just like as if he had scored it. So I'm like, I feel that as a goalkeeper. I feel that. So I'm like, what did that feel like? At the end of the match, the final whistle blows, the whole action is on the other side of the field. He just drops back and is just celebrating on his back. And so I'm asking him, like, what kind of went in, what were the emotions through that? You celebrate it. Like, what are you feeling?
Well,
it's a game that, for the most part of the game, I felt like we dominated. But every team is going to have their chances on us too. And it's very important that we made sure we score another goal. And that way we can be a little bit more tranquil after and the game. And there was a tension that, you know what, sometimes the tension just comes off the chest, and with a victory. And then this time it manifested in me going onto the floor, just like at the second goal and the end of the game. And I'm just really happy of a job well done.
Wow.
That make any sense, guys? Does that make any sense, Alan?
Yeah, that's probably what I got when he said it the first time.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%, yeah. There was a guy, otro güerito, that's there with long hair, medio tontalegre sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I love that guy. Asked the question in Spanish and blew my mind. Like I was like, "Good on you, man! Awesome." Smiles all around. Blake Bodley also had some. You can check it out on the San Diego Loyal website, YouTube. Smiles all around, Alan. I asked Nate Miller if, because he likes to have the terms of like, oh, have we peaked? Are we peaking? He believes that this team hasn't peaked yet. That's why he puts in and brings in new players midway through the year, is to sharpen those skills and light a fire under people's asses. I guess if it's not working, ship them out with Kyle Adams. And this is a team that, for Nate Miller's money, isn't the best it can be, which is crazy, Alan.
I mean, I think on the back end, I don't disagree. I think that there's on the back third of the pitch, I think there's some things that I mean, 3 clean sheets in a row seems great. But I think that, looking back at some of those games where maybe a more solid back line gets you a win in the San Antonio or Sacramento, so there's still some things to work on for sure. I thought maybe some communication issues, getting the new guys in. And then on the front end, I think they can be even more clinical, right? Like 2-0, it was basically 1-0 for most of the game, and so I think that I think there's still some things that Loyal can elevate. They're already really good, but I think that there's some things that they're going to need to elevate. And as much as Orange County doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a test. I think they've won 6 out of 7 games going into this, so this is going to be. It's going to be a challenge. They're going to want to avenge the 2-1 loss in Orange County. And I think this is a chance for San Diego to take another step forward against a team that's going to be trying really, really hard to beat the snot out of them, if not win the game. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to be physical. They have some really fast guys, young guys that are really going to test that back line. And so we'll see how good the back line really is. Colorado Springs is a good team. But they've been up and down the season. Orange County's coming in really hot, and so they're going to want to take it, and they can, they have the players to exploit some of those things that might be slight weaknesses on the back line, miscommunication, not playing as well together as maybe they will be in 10 games from now. And so it's going to be a big test, and I think that's what Nate Miller's looking at is. This team, I don't think, has played a perfect 90 minutes. They had a great 45 against Borussia Dortmund. They had a great 45 against Colorado. We've yet to see them lately put together like a full 90, even against Colorado Springs away, right? It was a really good first half and then like a pretty good second half. But I don't think there's been quite that dominance of 90 minutes. And so I think we're building to that. And I'd like to see that, maybe not right away, but definitely down the road. Leaning into the playoffs.
Following up, this game is very important against Orange County. You have 2 games in hand against them, and you're already above them by 2 points. So essentially, you just get to expand if you beat them. Give yourself a bigger gap between 4th and 6th place, and then you also have a game in hand over El Paso, and you're 1 point ahead of them. So winning this last few home games is going to be crucial for San Diego, considering that their schedule definitely. We probably saw the hardest test for them in that away stretch. But again, there's no easy games when it comes to playing in the USO. And we've learned that already in the past 3 years. Every team can beat any team. But you definitely want to beat Orange County considering like that rivalry that lives between both of those teams.
Yeah, it's a rivalry. Again, Ronaldo, part of this story of both franchises, very important player in their championship run. But I mean, it's don't take them for granted. It might be the easier part of the schedule, but you still need to show up and play. And to your point, Alan, like, have we seen the most? Have they put a 90 together that's perfect? Not yet. You don't need that now. You need that in the playoffs. But these are the times where you hone those skills and put it all together so that you don't shit the bed like you have in the first round of playoffs when you've made it.
And don't forget, I mean, Thomas Among was out last time we saw them. He is back playing, so I think he is also going to have
Revenge game.
He's going to have a point to prove, right? And so he's going to be highly motivated for this match. And so it's going to be like on paper, you might think, oh, it's just Orange County. They were terrible early in the season, but they're right behind you, like Chiva said. And there's some guys on their bench that are going to be hankering to put one over, especially in San Diego, right? So they're going to be extra motivated. And I think some of the other teams below them, right? You think about easier schedule like Loudon or Vegas or New Mexico has been kind of up and down. Like these are all going to be games that if you kind of look past, they're going to come back and bite you, and you're going to be giving away points that you shouldn't. Like you need to beat these teams that you should be beating, and that starts with Orange County on Saturday.
Saturday, August 5th, 7 p.m. Pride Night. Ticket and hat package is available, so check that out if it fancies your fancy. Saturday, important game. Get tickets. I mean, look, these are home games. They've been away for a while. Check them out. Like, tickets are cheap. Be a friend, tell a friend, take somebody. You're taking people who have never gone to a San Diego Loyal game. I mean, it's a fun time out. This team has really worked hard. It's really cool to see everybody back at home, seeing Weston and Pinche Greñas. Everybody's back at home, smiles everywhere. Like it was really fun to be out there despite the sun absolutely hating every single one of us. Really quick, I know they wanted to also have me translate what Coca said after post match in this little snippet, so we'll just try to do that real quick. The sensation is really good coming back home here after a long time. And then it's been a while since we have won, and then to do it now in front of our fans, it's a great time, great day. I don't think we've seen much more. 3 games, 3 straight wins, 3 clean sheets. I mean, I hope that it continues. So, Coque Vegas, that's your guy. That's San Diego Loyal's goalkeeper, the rock right now in the backfield. His heat map, I think Darren put it out there or retweeted it, is insane. Did you see this, Alan?
His playing position is outside his 18, which is wild. And even Borussia Dortmund on their social media were highlighting this style of play that, might not be well known around the world, but like you could see teams incorporating this into their play if you have a keeper who's as good with his feet as Coque Vegas is. And like also I'm excited for him to get love from the home crowd. Like it's almost always goal scorers, and I think people really love Coque, but I don't think he's been quite celebrated in person the way he has, especially this match, the chance for him, and then the man of the match is not something that we've been able to celebrate with him a lot. And so I think it's really cool to get to get him to experience that, the beer and the scarf. And, he's been instrumental in this run, this, 3-win run, unbeaten in 4. And so it's just nice to see that picture, right? Like, he's probably wanted that time and time again. So it's nice to see him get the love he deserves for being our goalkeeper.
He poured half of that, if not all of that, on himself. So hot day out there. Really cool team. Make sure to, again, take somebody out there. It's 7 p.m. On Saturday. So 4th place for San Diego Loyal. It's anybody's game here in the Western Conference. There's a chance that they can become 1st place after this homestand if things pan out as Nate Miller and the crew and everybody supporting this team would like it to. But yeah, San Diego Loyal is what's happening here in San Diego right now. It's still the only male team in town that's actually playing up until 2025. So, I mean, what more can be said? San Diego Loyal making it happening.
Alan, is there anything else you want to add for San Diego
Loyal? No. I think come on and hang out, bring a friend. It's Pride Night, which is weird. It's in August, so Pride is like 3 months now. So we got June. San Diego celebrates in July, and now we get to celebrate again in August. So it's Pride Night, which is I don't say ironic for what happened the last time these two teams played each other, but I think it might be a nice healing moment for everyone involved, both fan bases. And so come on out, grab the hat if you have those tickets. There may or may not be more surprises for that game. So yeah, it should be a fun time.
Be part of it. That's why we have you here at Two Balls and a Mic. You know, it's a really place. It's a good place to be, Alan. You would know that. Like I really appreciate having you because I mean, this is a sandbox for everybody. Anybody can come and play here, talk soccer, feel at home. You know, we come to this place for magic. We come to Two Balls and a Mic to laugh, to cry, to care, because we need that. All of us. That indescribable feeling that we get when the lights turn on and you just go somewhere that you've never been before. Not just entertained, but somehow reborn together. Because we need that. All of us. Again, dazzling images on a huge phone screen. Sound that you can taste. Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. It's where our heroes become the best part of us and the stories feel perfect or powerful. Because here, they are. It's Two Balls and a Mic. We make soccer better in San Diego, Alan.
Thank you, Nicole.
I love that so much. Whenever I go, like I recite it.
Oh,
my girl hates it.
Gosh, my girl hates her too.
Oh, all right, gentlemen. Let's do it every time.
All right, Alan. Thank you for joining us.
You're the best.
I love you both.
Get some rest. Later. Stay cool out there.
Te mamaste con esa,
Because here, they are.
That was funny. That was good.
Two Balls and a Mic.
Do you want to
Make
touch
soccer
Leagues
better.
Cup real quick? Chivas are out.
Chivas are out of the Leagues Cup. So Leagues Cup, MLS, Liga MX is coming together. Champions League of sorts. It's a money grab. The MLS is putting this together.
The round of 32 is pretty much set. Right now, the last game of the group stage is Toluca against Colorado. Toluca's up at halftime right now, 1-0. If it stands, Toluca advances in first place. Nashville advances in second place for that one. And the round of 32 would be set. You would have Inter Miami against Orlando City on Wednesday.
I'm glad people like the Nicole stuff.
Yeah. LAFC against Juarez. Mazatlan against FC Dallas. Pachuca against Houston Dynamo, which is going to be H playing against his... the team that sent him to Europe, Pachuca. So that's going to be exciting to watch. You have León against Real Salt Lake, New York Red Bulls against New York City, a New York derby. Pumas against Querétaro, Atlas against New England, Charlotte against Cruz Azul, Philadelphia Union against DC United, Monterrey against Portland, Chicago against America, Cincinnati against the second place, which is going to be probably Nashville. And then the first place, Toluca against Sporting Kansas City, Tigres against Vancouver, and Columbus against Minnesota.
So yeah, so you got a good mix here. You know, it's three countries coming together with Canada being represented also with the MLS.
Yeah.
I don't know if people care about this. I don't know if the teams care about this. I don't know if they're at the point where it's like, just get it over with.
The setup has just been so weird, where it has favored MLS teams. Because you have Tigres, Monterrey. I believe you also... America is going to be on that side of the bracket too. And you have like the biggest clubs in Mexico and the most powerful ones just on the same side of the bracket as well. Refereeing has been awful, favoring a lot of the MLS sites as well. Come to find out that this tournament was created and brought to life by MLS. It was their idea. Mexican teams are just at a huge disadvantage because all the games are played in America. Even when they're considered the home team, they're playing in the away team stadium. So it's just not a well-taught tournament to the point where León players are literally waiting at the airport.
At the
because
airport,
their flights, we're not scheduled right or something like that. They don't get to train before. They have to go. You have, I know you want to pull up Thiago Volpi scoring a penalty kick. He is the penalty taker for Toluca.
The goalkeeper is the penalty taker. That is dope as fuck.
And yeah, anyone that follows Liga MX, you know that Thiago Volpi shoots the penalties for Toluca.
It's Volpi.
And he shoots them well.
He does.
Volpi scores, and it's Toluca time now.
Thiago Volpi, who used to play for Querétaro, went to South America to play a couple more years, then comes back and becomes a goalkeeper to replace Talavera at Toluca.
Toluca currently beating Colorado, MLS Colorado, 48th minute 1-0. So that's the last game to finish off the round of 32. We're going to get into a little bit more of Leagues Cup play as it happens. There's some all right stuff happening, but once it gets interesting, we're going to go
start
ahead and
getting
definitely
interesting in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
and all
so
that,
we'll
to see
definitely
who the
get
top
there.
dogs are.
MLS San Diego, there's not a lot happening still. They're going out to the community. You were out at Chicano Park with Bridge Barcata.
I'm the face of MLS
you
San Diego.
are the
What do you
face
mean, dude?
of MLS San
the
Diego.
cover boy
Give me
for
that
MLS
way.
San
Mira.
Diego.
And you covered 2 balls in a mic that's on that shirt with the scarf. You couldn't
didn't.
put it a little lower. Just couldn't put it a little lower.
Hey, man, you know.
The fuck, dude?
I didn't notice, dude.
So I guess there's a full interview coming. Thank you. Okay, so
Yeah,
this isn't
they
the
interviewed
original
a few
tweet.
of us.
This isn't the original tweet.
Oh, it's not.
This is not.
It's not.
It is not. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Um,
Oh, here talking shit.
I did not.
Can't believe Chivas lost to Kansas City of all teams. Me vale madre. Not a real tournament. We're still first place in Liga MX.
Pinche procrastinator. ¿Paso vienes a cagar el palo? Welcome.
Neta.
Welcome.
Gracias, güey.
Sit down, bro. But no. So essentially, MLS was at Bridge Barcata. I don't know.
At
if-
Chicano Futsal.
At Chicano Futsal.
This was hosted by Chicano Futsal.
Chicano Futsal and the other guys that have put things together at Chicano Park. Fantastic stuff. Check out their Instagram. Chicano Futsal for dates and times. So you guys are playing, and then the MLS comes in. They take a couple pictures. They tweet this. I do, don't do, declare. That like they messed up because whatever their tweet was wrong. It's deleted now.
Yeah.
And this is mine. It's just like the community welcomes you. Come on, MLS. Like, it's fine. You're here. Whatever. You're here. Let's tag the boys because I responded and quote tweeted the MLS team with at Bridge Barcata on a separate thing. And then spell Cascarita correctly. So Cascarita is not Caskarita. Cascarita refers to cascaron, which is the shell or the egg shell, and a little birdie comes out and it's a baby bird. So cascaron refers to just like younglings, like little ones. Cascarita is playing what the younglings play, the kids on the street. That's kind of where it originates from. So like it's there's a certain spelling for it. I don't know who told them that there's a K in there. Fine, mistake happens. Spell it correctly for next time.
If they paid for Twitter Blue, they would have just been able to edit.
Yeah, they could have edited, but ultimately, you are the face of MLS for now because you signed the thing and that's you in there too. But ¿dónde estás? MLS. So tell me about this. So you played, you're all sweaty. People were there from the MLS team asking you questions. Like, what do they ask? Full interviews coming out, I guess.
Yeah, I believe they interviewed the boy Giassi. They interviewed a few other people. They were kind of looking to see who else. The turnout wasn't the best that Friday, and someone from the Chicano Football said, "Man, they out of all days, they come to this one. It was kind of dead today."
Yeah.
I mean,
happens.
Shit happens. I was sitting down. I was just finished playing like 2 retas back to back. I was all sweaty, and she's like, "Hey, you're from 2 Balls and a Mic." I'm like, "Oh. yeah, I'm the other guy."
As it says on my shirt.
Yeah.
That you can't see.
She's like, "Do you want to get interviewed?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I went over to the grass next to the courts, and from then they just asked me a few questions, and I answered.
What did they ask you?
Just what the culture for soccer is in San Diego. What do I see the team in 5-10 years doing for the city? Just basic like community stuff, like the same questions that every team's always gonna ask.
You gave somebody goosebumps.
Yeah, because I said, well, this team better win championships. That's what needs to happen in 5-10 years. The city deserves championships, and the people in the city want championships. So this team better deliver that in the next 5-10 years. And yeah, I mean,
That's it.
Full interview coming out soon.
All right, coming out.
I can't
soon.
remember all the questions.
All right, that's fine. That is
super
A-okay.
tired.
So, new face of the MLS, Chiva. So we're working, hopefully getting some news out whenever we can, trying to get somebody from the MLS group, Tom Penn, hopefully in this chair very soon to ask all the questions, ask some of your questions as well that you want answered. So we're gonna go ahead and be working with that. But I mean, Women's World Cup still happening. There's a midnight game, Portugal versus the U.S. It's gonna be tomorrow. O'Brien's has a watch party, so make sure you check that out.
So it's like at midnight in 2 hours, right?
Tomorrow in 2 hours, yes.
2 hours
But that's going to be huge for the Women's World Cup. Japan destroying Spain. Some really good.
Japan probably the strongest team out of the group stages, right? 3 wins, 11 goals in favor, 0 against, 3 clean sheets.
Impressive. Japan was also good in what was this last World Cup? Saudi Arabia, Qatar, in the Qatar World Cup. So Japan has a really good soccer program coming up. So salutations and good on you guys.
So yeah, if the U.S. somehow lose to Portugal and Netherlands, who will probably beat Vietnam, the U.S. would be eliminated.
Ooh, that's
So
good for Wave. Bad for the U.S. Women's National Team.
If they tie, they're through, most likely as a second place, but a tie puts them through.
Thank you, Procrastinating Puma, for joining us whenever you do. But yes, Women's World Cup also going into the knockout stages, so we're going to pick that up. Take a little bit of a closer look, talk to somebody maybe on the ground with everything happening over in New Zealand and Australia for this World Cup. Lots of soccer to cover here in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
It's all brought to you in part by San Diego Football. Am I missing something, Chiva?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Other than thanking everybody for joining us. And again, those lights begin to dim. An undescribable feeling.
Great episode. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. See you guys next week.
Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.